Hello there.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm doing okay. I think I'm feeling really lazy today because every time I look outside, it's snowy and nasty. And I think, you know what? I just don't feel like doing that.
You saw my reply on that I'd probably be in my pajamas.
I did.
I recognize that. Yeah. So I haven't heard from anybody else, but it's still early. I really don't have anything specific today, except maybe just kind of a State of the Union address kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, there's Dale.
Hey, Dale.
Well, now it's a party.
Woohoo.
Have you been healthy?
I have been so blessed. We had a rash of folks at our church recently who tested positive for COVID.
Mhm.
And thankfully, neither David nor I have gotten it. So it's like, I'm not sure how we're skating by, but we are.
Yeah. That's good to hear because it's hitting all over.
And I mean, and this was from people I know are
Mhm.
vaccinated and boosted and have
Oh, yeah.
been exceedingly careful, and they got it anyway. And it's kind of like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Tony had it last week.
Oh,
So yeah, he's been through it the last couple of weeks.
I was going to say, I don't know what that's about for him, but wow. Maybe
Yeah.
if you get all the bad stuff for the year out of the way, like in the first couple of months, then
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. That's probably the best way to do it, right?
yeah, really. Provided the rest of the year leaves you alone.
Yeah. In these uncertain times,
That's right.
yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna grab some Tylenol because I do have that barometer kind of headache. I'll be right back.
Okay.
So that's the main thing is I think it, and I think that they get I think it can be confusing when you have all of this stuff thrown at you at once, the paperwork and then, navigating Theranest and then, what we've, our change in policy to start charging for sessions.
Oh, and how is that going, by the way, now
Well,
that you've gone back to that?
so frustrating because if it were, apparently Theranest can't sync with the university's bank or something. Our one of the directors has been trying to figure out what to do, and it turned out so we weren't going to be able to use that, which would have just been seamless. So then we is it Ivy Pay? I don't know if you've heard of that. So another payment platform was brought up, and I think 7 counties here uses it. But apparently that has to be under a practitioner's name. It can't be like a group account or something. So that's off the table. So I just, for some reason, oh my goodness, I used to use Square for my own practice. And so I asked about that, and they do have a business account Square. So now I guess they're going to look into that. But the practice now is our admin will send a monthly invoice.
Okay.
So this is going to be where students are going to have to, they're going to have to follow up, and they're going to have to make sure that the client is paying. Or if the client can't afford it, to fill out the form for the reduced or waived fees. It's a really simple form. But I had a couple of students tell me that their clients were dropping out because they couldn't afford the $25 a session. And which isn't surprising to me. So I've, tried to encourage her to, encourage our admin to say, we do have this form, but I think a lot of clients, I think we lost a lot of clients, but no problem there. We still have a waiting list. Because we have fewer students in practicum. We had a large class. I think I mentioned this last time. A large class that graduated, and not as many coming on as new practicum students. So, and then of course, availability has been an ongoing issue, but I think it's especially difficult right now. So we've got a waiting list.
Okay.
So, hey, Dale, are you there?
I am.
Hey, so welcome. I don't have much of an agenda for today. I just wanted to do questions and answers and anything that came up. I guess you've been listening. The payment thing is the big issue right now.
And Ivy Pay wouldn't work because a lot of my grads when I was at ACU swore by Ivy Pay. They loved it. But the issue is you have to be licensed to get it. Is that?
Well, apparently it has to be under a specific licensed therapist. So it'd have to be under a person's name, not under the university. Tammy Dugas was working on that. And I'm just thinking, my goodness, why is it so hard? What do other places do?
Yeah. Now I know back in the day, but now this was like a million years ago. And CalFam is part of Campbellsville now. And I know they were doing it then. Now it probably wasn't electronic, and that may be the issue. I'm sure that was old-fashioned cash changing hands and maybe checks, but
Theranos is so easy. I use it and for clients and for my supervisees. So I just have it all in one thing, and end of the year, just run a spreadsheet, zip, done. And the fees, there's of course, credit cards are always going to have a fee. So there's like a set fee. I don't know what it is now. It used to be like 39 cents per transaction, and then like 0.25% or something. I haven't looked at that in a while. So, you're going to have those transaction fees that, as you would with any card, but it's really, really user friendly, that part of it. So kind of discouraging because it's one more thing, one more step in the process so that it's not as smooth as we would like it to be.
Yeah. Now, when's the accreditation visit?
That's a Dale question.
What's the question? When the accreditation visit is? Yeah, it's going to be early May. I don't have the exact dates in front of me, but it's around May 4th and May 5th, and we'll do some things to coach everybody how to respond to the site visitors' questions, in the weeks to come. But we'll do it closer to then. Just that, there's things to ask supervisors that I think will be important to see that we cover.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just really thrilled that Dale's part of all this because we've come light years from where we were when we got the accreditation. And that's, Dale is the reason we were able to accomplish that in the first place. And I say we, Dale and Ken, but
part in it.
Yeah. And but now I can't imagine there being any issues because of how far we've come. So that's, I don't know about Dale. I hope your stress level is down because I have no worries at all for us. I think it's going great.
Yeah, I don't really have a stress level about it. We had to give 4 responses to the commission, which you always do, that we submitted yesterday. No, I'm sorry, the second, 2 days ago, we submitted, and they weren't major things. The one thing the commission wanted us to do, which that we weren't doing, which I figured that they would be to have a evaluation of the supervisors, individual and group, every term. And I know Tony says that's in place now. That will be in place at the end here, quarter of term 1. So, we'll have data collected and analyzed by then. And of course, they wanted those changes to the supervision syllabus. It's kind of funny, not ha-ha funny, but odd funny how, Nikki, we've all looked through that a number of times, and those things from the old from years ago,
Yeah.
we just all kind of look through them. And that's one of the values, I think, of site visitors and commissioners looking at it. They see things that we just kind of look through,
Right.
because
Yeah.
I'm looking through them, and it was good, really good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, those are the big things on the horizon. Looking forward to hopefully next term. Judith, you got the academic calendar, right?
Yes.
And
Yes,
so,
thank you.
and just a little reminder, I'm sure your students aren't going to be dragging their heels on it, but just a little reminder for them to, get their practice test in. We are at midterm. Reason why we did midterm was because at the end of the semester, it wasn't getting done. So we put it at midterm so that by the end of the semester, they'd get them done. So
Yes, I saw the note and made a reminder to folks this week.
yeah, I appreciate that. So, I know you're staying on top of things with your student. I just really appreciate what you do with them. They're, at a great advantage working with you because you're thorough and you stay on top of it, and it's a great model for the students.
Well, back in the day, Nikki, when I lived here before, the people always talked about, and this is true, I'm not just saying this, Judith, but people talked about you behind your back as being one of the best executive directors in a nonprofit agency in the city. Nikki, you probably heard some of that talk as well. And this is the kind of thing you see, It's good stuff.
Thanks, Dale. I say it's the spectrum of accreditation because for us it was COA, and it was always the specter of them appearing. It made me kind of anal retentive about that stuff.
Well,
Did well.
But you're right,
Okay.
accreditation was very helpful.
I bet. I'm just glad I'm not, my eyes glaze over with that sort of thing. So,
Oh, see, and I'm an accreditation nerd, so.
Me
beautiful.
too.
It's a
I
gifting.
love that stuff.
That's why God needs everybody. We all
That's
are
right.
different. You guys are the head, and I may be the elbow or something. The body.
The body parts. Amen,
Yeah.
sister.
Anyway, so let me think, so big things were, of course, you're on top of the notes thing, practice test, of course, attendance, if there's any issues with that, always be sure and let me know. Because sometimes our students will be no-shows to supervision and that sort of thing. If that ever happens, I know it can happen to somebody once, but if it gets to be an issue, that's where you get in touch with me. And so then billing, again, that's going to be a monthly invoice sent to clients. So that'll be a kind of a place where we're going to want to touch base with the students to say, okay, make sure that you're putting all your appointments in. Make sure that you're discussing billing with your client. And hopefully we'll get this evened out. I know it's a whole lot to put on our admin, but then, this is what we have at the moment. Yeah.
You know,
So-
have you had to address yet with students how they are to approach clients if there is an outstanding balance?
Yeah, I think that was, Tony addressed that in the newsletter. I don't know if you got that. I'll make
I
sure.
did, and I thought I read it, but I'll reread that again.
Yeah, and I think that's something too that each of our supervisors can certainly reinforce is to, to let them know. Students are hesitant to, some students anyway, are hesitant to say, okay, this is the second no-show, and to hold them accountable that way. Of course, when we started out, we were kind of soft-hearted about that too, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you grow up. So anyway, those are the big things. What kind of questions do you have?
The one that came up for me is how and to what degree do students have to address the good faith estimate issue?
Well, Tony is putting together a workshop for that. So we're kind of, this is in discussion in the works right now. I think, Tony's health issues in the past couple of weeks kind of, put
Probably
threw a monkey
that.
wrench into that, but it's coming, and I think it's going to be good for us to participate in that, not just the students.
And I did do his ICT presentation, and because he put that up not long ago. Thanks for that, by the way, Dale, and obviously Tony. But I was curious how students are having to work with that.
Right now, it hasn't been formalized.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Let me speak to that because Tony and I have had some conversations about that. And what he's trying to clarify is if it applies to students or not, because he's read some stuff that has an indicator that it may not apply to students because there's some exemptions, but he's trying to clarify that with his sources in the industry, which, like you, because he did some executive stuff like you did, Judith. So you know how you can just go into your network and find that stuff. So he's doing that. And then Michelle Oak is doing our HIPAA our HIPAA consultations, and and this goes hand in glove with that, as this and HIPAA and high tech, they just kind of weave them all in together. And so she's exploring it as well. So we're looking at that from a number of different angles, trying to get credible information. But Judith, as you know from your years of experience, that when the government rolls something new out, it takes them sometimes to clarify the issues themselves. And that's kind of
right.
truthfully where they're at with it with students. It's not been fully clarified.
Absolutely. And it's interesting. And I know Tony will address it, so don't let me harp on it here. I'm just commenting as I'm thinking it through. But with the well, going back to charging for sessions, I can only imagine that maybe we would have to be somewhat on the forefront of that, whether that's a student requirement or not, because we just wouldn't want people surprised. Thanks.
Yeah. So I look forward to that. I haven't put into practice what I do with my couples. I've done a verbal sort of thing. Sorry, let me turn that off. I've always, I say always, but I've made it a practice over the last couple of years working with couples, particularly to say, and I do sliding scale, but I'll say, we're going to work together. Let's plan on 6 months. If things improve before that, then great, you graduate. At 6 months, if we feel like we're not where we want to be, then we'll extend that. So, but I haven't done that with my individuals. So I'll probably need to do that and come up with a document.
Yeah.
Do you have one?
I'm not currently in private practice, so
Okay, gotcha.
however, I am working with my first associate about that, and that she's working on that now. And so we've reviewed the AMFT blog. We've certainly looked at all the CPH material.
Mhm.
I just went through Tony's and suggested that she go through Tony's presentation about that. And then obviously I'll have observable evidence of something posted in the office, on the website, those kinds of things. And so we'll kind of see as it's unfolding.
Yeah, I guess I missed Tony's presentation. Dale, is that something that's recorded that I can access
Yeah,
or?
absolutely. You can go to the ICT website and I can
Uh-huh.
help you with it. Tony can. And it's a free CEU that we've given to anybody. In fact, a lot of people all over the country are doing it because,
Uh-huh.
we sell our things a lot in Texas and Alabama as well. But we've been surprised how words got out and people in a lot of other states have done it. So in only an hour, you watch his PowerPoint video and take a little post test, which is easy, and then you'll get one free CE approved by the licensure board.
I guess I missed that because I just had to go through all of my stuff hit at once. So my Indiana license renewal, of course, my Kentucky renewal, and my supervisor's approval, AMFT, all hit at once. So I was going through all my CEUs, and I guess I missed that when I was on the ICT site.
It's under the self-paced courses.
Okay. All right. Maybe.
I want to brag about Tony and doing it too. He was doing that while he was preparing to do his cancer treatments and all. He just did a Herculean job there to get that together. Mike and I were so impressed that he did that. And it's just amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah. And as you guys always do, a very well done, very straightforward presentation. And for me, that was helpful in recommending it for my associates so that, it was like, oh my gosh, this information is so overwhelming. And I was like, yes, it's a lot, but if you watch this, it's very straightforward and it will help you. And it gives you the links to the things you need. So.
Well, that may be a nice activity on a frosty afternoon for me.
There you go.
I would encourage it. Hey, yeah. I've got to log off. But I just really appreciate, Nikki, you doing this. I'd like to come more, but usually I have a standing supervision time at this time, and they had to be another time this week, so I was able to come. So appreciate you doing these.
Sure. Thanks. For popping in, Dale. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Good to hear you, Dale.
Good to see you. Bye-bye.
He was probably in his pajamas too. Well, anyway, that's really all I had for today. I'm sure, I'll think of something, or one of us will think of something after we get done, but you've got my cell. Always feel free to call or text. And
All right.
I'm happy to help.
Thank you so much. You really are a wonderful support, and I so appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Stay safe and warm and healthy.
Amen, sister. You too.
All right.
See
ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.